Sovereignty. Supreme power or authority. Talks are being held about who should have sovereignty over the island. Bureaucracy. An administrative policy. We need to reduce paperwork and bureaucracy in the company. Communism. A political and economic system. The collapse of communism changed East-West relations forever. Bipartisan. Cooperation of two political parties. Afterward, the two sides may create a bipartisan panel to seek a longer-term solution. Confederation. A union of sovereign groups. The two countries made up a confederation for mutual safety. Fiscal year. Financial year. By the end of this fiscal year in June, maritime operations are projected to lose $7 million. Impunity. Freedom from punishment. Abolishing impunity within the government is critical to the process. Anarchy. Absence of order. The demonstrations in the capital city rapidly descended into anarchy. Oligarchy. Governed by powerful people. It had long been realized that the only secure basis for oligarchy is collectivism. Scandal. Strong moral disapproval. This scandal could prove seriously damaging to the government. Civil rights. The rights that each person has in a society. The senator's speech brought an angry response from civil rights groups. Legislation. Set of laws suggested by a government. The government rushed through legislation aimed at mafia leaders. Coalition. The joining together of different political parties. A coalition government was formed after inconclusive elections. Propaganda. Biased and misleading information. The papers were full of political propaganda about nationalization. Democracy. A system of government. Our Constitution embodies all the fundamental principles of democracy. Magna Carta. The first document of Constitution. Their rights were secured by special clauses in Magna Carta. Referendum. A direct vote by the electorate on a proposal. A referendum showed beyond doubt that voters wanted independence. Autocracy. A system of government by one person. The potential victims of this autocracy were not only liberal democratic values but also the effective government. Suffrage. The right to vote in political elections. There was a fierce struggle for women's suffrage in Britain in the early century. Demographics. Statistical data of human populations. The demographics of the country have changed dramatically in recent years. Bill of Rights. A document containing a formal statement of rights. Madison opposed the inclusion of a Bill of Rights in the Constitution. Bilateral. Involving two countries. France and Germany have signed a bilateral agreement to help prevent drug smuggling. Impeachment. To charge a public official. The verdict resulting from his impeachment destroyed his political career. Federalism. Compound mode of government. Federalism remains a very important feature of American politics. Lobbying. Seek to influence. Women's groups are lobbying to get more public money for children. Regime. A form of government or rule. The military regime has promised to restore democracy soon. Totalitarianism. A government that prohibits all opposition parties. Many extreme right-wing have been accused of practicing totalitarianism. Mandate. An official order. Our election victory has given us the mandate to reform the economy. Think tank. A body of experts providing advice and ideas. It's the world's biggest think tank, and much can come from such brainstorming sessions. Tyranny. Oppressive government. Freedom from tyranny is a principle we should always defend. Dictatorship. A country governed by a dictator. The whole country had tried to efface the memory of the old dictatorship. Monarch. The system of having a king or queen. Queen Isabella was urged to use her influence with the French monarch. Ratification. Formal confirmation or sanction. The convention was to come into force upon ratification by 20 states. Boycott. Withdraw from commercial or social relations. The union called on its members to boycott the meeting. Amendment. A change to a law. The amendment will remove the inconsistency between the two laws. Constituent. A voter in a particular area of the country. Each constituent group has its unique role and set of interests. Veto. To refuse to allow something. The Ministry of Defense has the power of veto over all British arms exports. Constitution. The set of political principles. The present Constitution gives supreme authority to the presidency. Agenda. A list of matters to be discussed at a meeting. He accused foreign nations of having a hidden agenda to harm French influence. Ally. A country that supports and helps another country in a war. He is generally considered to be the Prime Minister's closest political ally. Demagogue. A political leader who tries to get support by making false claims. The senator was a gifted demagogue, with particular skill in manipulating the press and television.